Good day, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of our Havoc test, Wolf Legacy. Where we left off, we have a few things to consider here. In the prior episode, we took care of the small zombie infestation at the cemetery in Brighton. We defeated a boss level threat known as the King Skeleton. Our new quest is right here, so we have to deliver a family letter to the uh, character name, to the High Lady Gloria. She's the ruler of Fairling, which is a town, so smaller than where we are currently. Now, this was mentioned in the prior episode, where I believe that as we explore this land a bit, a lot of it will be owned by this family, this royal family. So because this series is focused on the rules, kind of working on the mechanics, improving them, taking away anything, basically making updates as we go, the actual setting comes second in priority. But it's still there and will be obviously worked on. So let's leave uh, Brighton, which is right here in tile one. We have no damage. We healed up. We have 3 experience points for four. As the rules say, upgrading, you can upgrade a core +1 at level experience 20, which we're nowhere near. At 10, we can add an ability because our character had a small craft of only 1d6. We have no abilities. So let's begin our travels up north, and we'll take the main road east through here. And as we are in this first tile, we need to roll a question for the Oracle if we encounter anything. Let's roll 2 dice. Oh, I have to actually mention what are the chances. Let's re-roll and say 50-50. Okay, 67. All right, so we don't encounter anything, but what's unique about this tile? I'm just curious. 18. We have our mythic here. Dangerous, or competition first. 70 and 97. Competition, valuable. Oh, interesting. You know what? Competition, valuable. In this tile, there is we don't encounter anything that will affect us directly, but we witness something. I'm going to go with the dice on this one. We witness something. There is an argument happening. There are two merchants that are actually traveling into Brighton, and they're arguing over something that has to do with their wares, of their product. So again, macro play, kind of light on the narrative and role play, focus on the rules, mechanics, and dice rolling. Our character is going to butt in and interrupt. So while these two merchants are arguing, we're going to roll a valor check, which is 2d6, these blue ones here, and the difficulty will be normal. If they're shouting out in the open, I'm going to say it's normal. So we only have 2 dice. We need to roll a 5 and a 6 to get 3 total. Look at that. I freaking called it. So that's 2 points. That's 2 success. That's 1 success. So we get 3, which is the requirement for that task. And thus we were able to complete a core check successfully. Okay, we're able to interrupt them. And basically, Wolf is asking these merchants the direction to what's the best path to take to Fairling. And they stop arguing. They point, because we had a successful roll, they point basically kind of north-northeast from our current position to continue traveling east and then head north, make the first major left past the mountain. So I'm going to say there are there's a little mountainous terrain on this side of the road, and we thank the merchants for the help, and then continue to argue. Perhaps they're like, we're doing a trade and the price wasn't, they're trying to negotiate and it's just turned into an argument. So we are now in this tile here, which is not marked, but let's roll for the Oracle. Do we encounter anything here? I'm going to say 75% chance. That is a 93. That's a definite no. This area is quiet. There's no interruptions. So we'll now reach a point in the road where it splits. So the path continues east, and then it makes a left turn heading up north. So this split here, this junction point, do we encounter anything here in this tile? 75% chance? No. Okay, not much is happening right now. So now we go north into this tile, and let's continue with the 75% chance tradition. 21. Okay, we encounter something in this tile here. That's fair. So let's roll for the chances of something. What are we encountering here using our one-page mythic? 84. A PC player character. Okay. 11. Cold. Okay, so there's a sudden cold snap, which leads me to believe there is a uh, creature of sorts that's approaching us and is going to attack. So this is perfect. So we are just basically traveling up here, and there's a cold snap, meaning there is a creature that is most likely an ice elemental. So I will detail this here. As we're traveling up this dirt path, there is obviously there's going to be mountains on the side here. Not exactly to scale, but just for quick demonstration. Okay, it looks like a river, but that's just a path. So let's get a marker for our character. We have 5 health, so we're the blue one. Blue is typically what I associate for heroes. And we have a ice elemental that pops up, and typically with the villains or any enemies, I associate them with red. Let's make this a 2 dice, a 2d6 enemy. So this one pops out of the mountains and attacks the nearest uh, human, who is us, and thus we are in encounter. So this is just a general encounter. We're going to be having um, a typical battle with this one. So we'll be using our sword, which is a +1, so that's an additional d6 on top of the 3 that we have for the total attack roll. Now the enemy will be red dice, and he's a two, or they are 2d6, which means they don't have. If you don't have armor equipped on a creature, this is a creature, ice elemental of sorts, then basically you just give them +1 by default. That goes the same for your own. Actually, let me double check my rules here. I might be stepping on my own feet. Your defense is your agility to avoid getting hit during combat, equal to your agility score. So let's make an adjustment here. I have changed the method of defense. So here it says enemies have 2 scores, hardy and agility. They may also wield a weapon, have armor equipped, depending on what type of enemy they are. Wild creatures don't typically wield weapons. Okay, so I have to make a very, very slight adjustment here. Just I caught a slight snag in my own rules because defense is typically associated with your agility score at the start, and then it can be improved with worn armor. So let me pause the video and make a slight adjustment. Okay, so I just put in here the enemy's defense is tied to their agility core or agility roll plus any worn armor, similar to your defense, just for verification. So the creature has no armor; it's just a nice elemental. I could consider armor for its skin toughness, but I'm going to stick with the 2d6 for now. So I have 2d6 red, and then I have the 4 total dice for our weapon plus our hardy attack, which is associated with melee. So the 2d6 is rolling with their defense. So I'm rolling it all together, and then let's see what happens. So wow, even with our 4 dice, We have no hits. They were able to block anything and everything. So I almost forgot we have 6 energy points to count for this session. That's going to be these chips here. Okay, so like I was saying, sorry, I had a phone call. We have these 3 chips here that will represent our energy points. And so what I did with energy points, I did tweak the rules a little bit. I made it more affordable to re-roll everything practically. So let me see if I can find it. It's in the energy. I added yeah, here you go. So aside from abilities, energy points can also be used to reroll any and all failed d6 rolls within a set core roll. This gives you a chance to try again, but only during the specific moments. You must have sufficient points when doing so. Energy points are replenished at the start of each session of play. So basically, I'm not happy with this roll. And even though we don't get hurt, the monster just blocks our or dodges, or however narratively you want to say, what I can still do is re-roll by spending this chip here and re-roll all of these because they're considered failed roll. If I got a 5 in here somewhere, still blocked by the 2, or the 1 success blocked by the 2 success, the hit, I would only be able to re-roll any failed rolls, so these 3 here. But in the prior case, I'm able to re-roll all 4. So there, okay, we have 1 hit blocked by 2, so it didn't go anywhere exactly as planned. Now it's the monster's turn, so the monster is able to attack us with its 2d6 attack. Now let's see, its defense is, I'm sorry, our defense is 3, so let's roll its attack first. Ooh, okay, it got, once again, it has 2 here. We have 3 defense to roll for total agility plus 1 armor. And we blocked the 2. So again, it's a stalemate. We blocked what it brought. Now we're going to attack with 46. It's 2d6 armor, or I'm sorry, defense. Okay, so nothing. There is no hits whatsoever, and it did not even block anything if we did hit. Okay, so this creature jumps onto the main road. We back up here, and we also see a right out of the corner of our eye. Let me roll a. It's still on our turn, but let me roll a optics roll, which is 2d6. Because we're in the heat of battle, I'm gonna say it's hard. We need 2 6s for this, which we don't. Okay, so basically what I was saying is that there's a cave, not too far off the trail, but not a cave. I'm sorry. There's a wagon. Let's say there's a tree right here, and there's a wagon right here that's kind of damaged with some dead bodies around, and probably a horse escaped or something. So this ice elemental most likely attacked this small traveling group of people. So now we're back to us, and we failed to see that roll while in combat. I will allow the character, I will allow for another optics roll if we survive after this encounter. So once again, we're going for our agility roll. And nothing. Oh, we have 1 hit. Okay, so okay, we got 1 hit from the creature onto the creature. That's 1 health. Sorry, 1 hit. Okay, now it attacks us. It had 1 hit there, so I'll remove the miss, which I do sometimes. Often forget. 3d6 roll for defense. We blocked that 1 hit, so we're good. Okay, I have just so before recording, I thought of a house rule I wanted to do, or potential mechanic in my game. If you roll 3 6s, then you gain an energy point, a temporary energy booster that's only valid for the session. It doesn't add to your total, or even replenish 1 energy point up to your maximum. So I've been thinking about that. I might consider that into the rules here. So let's continue here, and that would only be during combat. Now it's going to jump back onto the trail, seeing it's hurt, backing up. We're going to be trying to corner it. So now we attack with our Hardy. I'm pretty sure I'm losing track of my turns here, but at the same time, I just want to see this game, keep play testing it as we go. Okay, we got no hits, so it does not need to defend. We roll its attack. Oh, that's 3 hits. Okay, so it's definitely a good hit. We have to block that total 3. Now, spending energy points during combat is the same as everything else. I basically unified that mechanic to allow you to reroll any failed rolls within any core roll. So roll in defense. Okay, we blocked 2 of the 3 hits here. The 2 5s equal 1 success per, and the creature got 3 total. So we take 1 hit. So let me track my hits with chips here. So we'll take 1 hit. This red chip here. I could spend a energy point to replenish that hit or to heal, but I don't think I actually allow that mechanic anymore. Let me double check. So combat, I'm pretty sure I don't do that anymore. Yeah, so energy points have been kind of limited to just re-rolling. I would have to re-roll this to see if I get a success. It's not like Savage Worlds, I can soak the hit after doing a core roll. So I'll stick with it. I'll take that hit as we go. I can always heal because healing in my game is tied to you can heal 1 hit after a quick match if you survive, obviously. And it has to be 4 or less, non-incapacitated. Okay, so we are defending. Now we're attacking with our 46 as usual. The creature continues to back up into the broken down wagon. Now, let's do a roll here because we're closer to the wagon. We're kind of following the creature into the mountains. It's trying to lure us in. Maybe it wants to. It has an advantage here. So advantage I don't really have in my game per se. But let's do a mid roll, like a mid action roll. This will be optics. So to once again, normal difficulty this time. 3. There you go. Oh no, I'm sorry. 3 is the normal. I failed. So I still can't see the wagon. I'm too focused on the battle at hand. So now we're going to attack as before. That was another passive roll. Oh, nice. We got 2 successes. So I will remove these other 3. And it's defending. There we go. Okay, we defeat the creature. We slay it. It breaks apart like ice. We'll remove its die from the field and remove our die. Okay, so we see this broken down wagon and find that the bodies are obviously fresh. They're not, they've been here for maybe a couple hours. Not many people travel through here, perhaps. Not yet. So we are going to see if we can find any survivors. Let's check the Oracle on this one. I'm going to say 10% chance, very minor. Nope, no survivors. Let's just say there's 3 individual dead. There's 3 dead individuals, and they are just travelers. I'm going to just keep it simple. They're travelers. So the creature, they're all just torn up. It's gruesome to look at. This is again, I'm trying to make this a grim, dark world. So there's a lot of death, famine. There's disease, there's destruction, there's monsters, there's demons, there's the undead. It's This place is just not exactly the most of luxurious areas to live in. So not exactly upper class. Now we're going to just loot around. The creature most likely didn't take anything. Um, it's not looking for any loot itself. So while we're looking through the items in the wagon, not on person. I don't think uh, our character is going to be that kind of thief. He does find 50 gold pieces. I'll give him that. Kind of a indirect award for defeating the monster. That relatively simple ice elemental. So we're at 171 now for currency. And then it finds a chainmail armor that gives our character a boost in defense. So chainmail armor, which is going to be a +2. That's an additional d6 roll on top of our existing defense. Now our defense is at 4. He also finds a Um, he finds some alcohol in a bottle, obviously. Oh, yep. And that's it. So they are just a slain group in the village, and we're going to leave because they are not alive to help. So we leave the trail and we travel up north, and that's it for that interaction. Okay. Oh yeah, and we heal the hits because it's been after combat. Okay, next tile. We're moving up north through here. This new tile, let's roll if we encounter anything. Because we have already, let me say 75% chance. We do. Okay, let's figure out what this is. We're going to spark an idea from the usual one-page method. Okay, 90 itself. Simple. Okay, 32. Simple 32. Decrease. Simple fragment. Fragrant. Oh, a smell. Okay. There is a smell, an aroma we pick up in this tile here. So what could it be? Is the smell excruciating? Is the smell just absolutely terrible? It's simple, so it's very hard it's hard to miss. You can easily pick it up. Does it smell like food? Let's say 75% chance. It does. It smells like food. Okay, so we smell food, and there's a little hut off to the side here to the right. So I will draw another mountain because I've been kind of assuming this area is mountainous. And let's get back to our map. So in this tile right here, there's a very tasty smell of just freshly cooked fruits or vegetables. So we still have the mountains here. But there's a little cabin here, kind of off the road, and just a simple drawing for it, surrounded by mountains. And it has a little chimney with smoke coming out, and there's obviously a cookout going. So probably watching the game or something. So our character is just kind of traveling up here and notices that a there is a nice little cabin up a hill slightly, and the our character has rations, which I have not been keeping track. So I'm gonna say we're down to two because of just general travel. I really don't have a rule for hex crawling, so I'm improvising that in a moment. But let's say that our character is just famished and he wants to see if he can pay for to eat some food. So this cabin uh, is perhaps just owned by a family or someone. So we'll knock on the door. I'm going to say there's most likely a chance there's someone there. No roll required. Maybe. You know what? Let's just roll. 90% chance there's someone home. Oh, yep, that's right. Okay. It takes a couple seconds, but a person opens the door. It's an old lady. It's an older couple. They own this place. And they greet us. They're happy to see a visitor, perhaps. And we ask if we could pay to have a meal because we've been traveling for the past hour or two from Brighton on our way up to Fairlane. So we say we smell some very we smell very something very tasty. So do this will require a valor roll, but because they're an older couple, I'm going to say they're probably very nice, and they're happy to have anybody stop by. Maybe it's a store, maybe it's a restaurant. I don't know. It could be anything, but just for the sake of simplicity, it's just a building with a chimney and two elderly couple live inside. So um, we're doing a valor roll. I'm going to say it's easy, which is two, I think. Two. Yep, there's a difficulty right there, two. And ooh, okay, definitely spend a reroll for that. So I'm gonna spend the chip to reroll. Just one more reroll. Nothing. Okay, so unfortunately, the as happy as the old couple was to see us, like, oh, uh, hello, stranger. Unfortunately, the food is for oh, let's say this is an orphanage. This is just the orphanage. There's just a lot of kids running around, and they take care of the kids. So this unfortunately we have too many mouths to feed. So I think Wolf is just gonna be like, well, thank you for your time. enjoy the evening. So he's going to walk away and continue on north. And that's it. That's really it. I think doesn't really uh, pan out beyond that. Probably potentially a plot twist later on. I have an idea, but I'm going to save that for later. So we're back on the main road. We travel up north here, more mountains, and then there's actually going to be a forest on the left that pops up. So let's roll for the Oracle if we encounter anything on this path here. Oh, I didn't give a percentage. Let's say 50% chance. Nope, nothing. Okay, so we continue on once again here. We're now in this tile here, and we're rolling for a 75% chance because we're closer to the. Oh, nothing. Okay, that's an encounter. Next, we're going to travel here. I'm going to deduct another ration. So he's a little concerned. That's why he wanted the food. He wanted to stock up on anything. We didn't find any food on that ice elemental's victims. So let's roll for this tile here. Again, 75% chance. Whoops. Oh my gosh, that's 100, I think. 2 0 3 0. Yes, that's it, indeed. No. For some reason, I'm gonna re-roll that. 95% chance. So 5. Okay, extreme yes. All right, so here's what happens. I completely flipped the book on that. Here's what happens. There is a vast caravan of people traveling south from Fairlane, and they are passing by. So to give a visual on that, what would that be like? Here's the usual path. Now we have trees on the side here, and some mountains kind of mixing into trees now. Okay, so there is just a huge group, a line of people that look miserable. They are dirty, they are beaten, and we are just this lone wolf character approaching this group of people. So usually I use these frost dice to represent commoners, NPCs that are not neither threats or concerns. And we appear to stop this one individual in the front who looks to be kind of self-proclaimed leader of this caravan. So we ask what happened. He's on his way. We mentioned we're on our way to Fairling, and this is concerning, seeing a group of hundreds of commoners leaving a town that's just a mile up. So let's roll to see what this individual says. We don't have to get much detail on the individual, but just to say there's someone there. You're rolling on the one-page mythic off camera. 87, progress. 53, loud. Okay, so there is a. I've done this before in a well, actually, in my own misfortune series, I said there was a volcano erupted or erupting that was threatening a town further up north. I'm not gonna do that again. I'm gonna say there is a something disastrous happening up in town that caused severe damage and death, and that they had to flee the town itself. Perhaps a um, it could be creatures. It could be another band. You know what? Let's say it's a guild. It's a bandits. Let's say a large bandit guild. He says they were overrun and the town was taken over by a large group of bandits. And they took over the town and they killed dozens of our people. We had to flee. So maybe the town isn't hundreds of people. Let's say this is like a few dozens of people walking, families of all ages. So, and the man just he says Wolf is concerned because again, this is his mission. He's supposed to be Wolf. As the man keeps walking while talking, Wolf saying, "Well, what is the status of High Lady Gloria? Is she with you?" So that's the big question. I'm going to say 10% chance she is. I'm going to say I really don't think she is. Nope, she's not. So he stops and looks to us and says, "Unfortunately, she was caught and captured. She's now probably," and he coughs. He or she coughs, blood or something. believe she's captured and she's being held up at the church. So these bandits really causing a problem for us. So he continues walking. Again, the crowd keeps we kind of look at us every so often. We look at them, unaware what really is happening. So as they pass by, we realize now things are going north are going to be a little difficult at this point. So we have to approach with caution. We got that warning here. So now we are just approaching the entrance of the town, and let's start drawing a forest here, like so. There you go. So we are approaching cautiously the entrance of, let's draw it out. So approaching the entrance of town here, there's probably a few homes or buildings off to the sides, and the road spans out into a courtyard, probably a big cul-de-sac design, and I'll just do a quick little draw here. There we go. And there's going to be unfortunately some bodies in the ground, some dead individuals here. There is a another wagon that's on fire right here. There is this house is on fire, and there seems to be debris everywhere. This place has just been completely gutted. So we are right here, and as we approach, obviously we're traveling. We're not exactly dressed like this town when commoners were. We approach here, and there's going to be a individual who is looting a corpse right here after just perhaps killing a commoner. We are going to uh, the sneak up onto this bandit who is clearly looting. Back is turned against us, and we're going to do a agility roll, which is sneaking. So this will be. I completely forgot about something. So my mistake. I want to go back to our core rolls here. A focus roll is that it lets you re-roll if you fail a certain core roll. You can reroll any set of failed DS6. I forgot to do that a couple times during the combat, so I'll have to remember that next time because Hardy is my focus core. I kind of caught myself on that. Now we're doing a agility roll to sneak up to this bandit. Let's roll 2d6. This will be because he's distracted. I'm going to say easy, so 2. All right, I'm going to pay a trip and re-roll that. This agility is not our strong suit. Oh gosh darn it. Okay, not successful. We sneak, we step on a twig. The guy turns around, and now we're in an encounter. So, but he's only a 2d6 tier enemy. So we'll put the d6 here. And now we attack first based on my rules. So Hardy is a plus, is 4 total. We're attacking with our sword, and we hit 3. Okay, so we have 3 that hit. And now it defends. The bandit defends with a failure. So 3 hits, no block, which means we take this bandit out easily as he falls back and dies. So, and we notice he has an emblem on his coat, his wares, and the emblem is in the shape of. Let me write this down here. So we're writing down factions. So let's put down factions. This will be the I'll just call them bandit guilds just to keep it easy. The bandit guild, and they have a logo. It's just a logo. I'm not going to get specifics. Just keeping it simple. So that's it. Now we know that this is a bandit, and he actually had a dagger, which I will loot from him. Oh, but we can carry. So your inventory limit is carry up to Hardy plus 5. So our Hardy is 3. That's 7 items. So I have currently 7 items. I have to drop the. I'm going to drop the rope. I can't carry anything else. So he wants the dagger. You know what? Let's say it's 2 daggers. So times 2. But that'll be a plus 2 then, because it's 2 weapons. Daggers plus 2. All right. That's going to be it for this episode. We have entered quite the scenario here. And let's take notes for myself, as always, ending the episode. Basically, we are now in Fairling, and it's overrun by the Bandit Guild. And three, the Gloria, the High Lady Gloria, is fix that G there, is captive in a church. There we go. So that's going to be our synopsis for the next one, or the current setup. Experience points wise, let's go down to our XP. We participated. We successful boss fight. Not necessarily. We didn't complete anything. So 1 XP essentially. So let's erase this 3 here, and now we have 4. Wasn't really intensely eventful, but it was worth the participation trophy. So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.